Hello YouTubers, this is Jerry Saravia at the movies. So of course today I'm going to continue discussing latest developments regarding Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, which was not tentatively but seemingly scheduled for a December 18th release of this year, 2015. But there are rumors spreading right now that it could be pushed for an earlier date. Now, according to an article from The Telegraph, citing two separate unconfirmed reports from iQuiz and Movie Pilot, Star Wars might arrive this summer. And JJ's biggest reason apparently was that due to all of the leaks of pictures and artwork from the film, and of which there's been many, some of which I purposely try not to look at, others which I couldn't help but take a glance at. J.J. Abrams apparently said that due to that, it might send a little scare that more and more, if more and more materials from the film were leaked, it would make the film predictable and not worth watching, according to Movie Pilot. iQuiz, meanwhile, stated that Disney is reportedly taking J.J. Abrams' request very seriously and is looking at a possible summer release. Now, this is based on J.J. Abrams having been at the Visual Effects Society Awards event on February 4th, where he received the VES Visionary Award. So, is that going to happen or not? I really don't know. This summer is kind of crowded with all sorts of big budget releases, not the least of which is the Avengers Age of Ultron, which is the second film in the Avengers series, and there's also Jurassic World, although, you know, a new Jurassic Park movie, I never thought anybody would even care about seeing one after the truly awful third film that came out in 2001, but then again, there are people that like the third film, so maybe there's some very anxious to see this movie, I don't know. Nonetheless, there are other movies coming out this summer, so the Star Wars movie, if it did open this summer, when would it open? Probably not Memorial Day, because that would be too soon. And we also have to consider that maybe they're also working on the effects, even though there are practical effects, much more than usual for a Star Wars film, apparently. And that is J.J. Abrams' stock and trade, and in particular with the Star Trek movies. So, you know, these are just unconfirmed reports. But a summer release, let's say, could be July, could be August, maybe not. That's really tough to say for sure what would constitute as a summer release, because for all Star Wars fans out there, I'm sure you all know that every Star Wars movie since A New Hope, we'll just call it the first Star Wars movie in 1977, they were always released on Memorial Day weekend. Same thing with the Indiana Jones movies. So this breaks the tradition a little by releasing it December 18th, which, you know, no matter when they release it, it's going to do business. How much business is curious, but there's enough interest that it's going to do well. Now, moving along, there's another rumor about Billy D. Williams. Now, as we all know, he is in fact not returning as Lando Calrissian in Star Wars The Force Awakens, but he did return to do some voice work for the Lando character in Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, which, by the way, now I'm beginning to think maybe I should check out this animated series, because it actually does sound pretty good. Probably better than the Clone Wars. Anyway, he did return as Lando for Star Wars Rebel, the animated series, but he doesn't know if he's going to return or not, but he is hoping, even though he can't really say, that he might return in the next two films in his trilogy. Thus far, I think we've established that Star Wars, this is going to be a sequel trilogy, but there will also be standalone films. But then there were wild rumors, which I don't think have been substantiated, that Disney is interested in doing just 1 or 2 Star Wars films a year. I think that was just such a crazy rumor. The other thing that came out is not a rumor, but about leaks, which again makes me think perhaps there is truth to what J.J. Abrams may or may not have said at this particular event. And the leak was about an image of this new Jedi Knight, or presumably one that's turned to the dark side in the next Star Wars film, and was seen in the trailer sporting the lightsaber with the controversial crossguard sabers. And anyway, apparently there was a leak where you saw a whole profile of him holding this particular lightsaber. Now, I didn't see this image before, but apparently it is out there, and of course I had to check it out. I couldn't help it. This happened also with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. As soon as a new image came out, I just had to check it out because, well, I just had to. But this was one I was not privy to, and Disney is currently trying to sue and figure out who leaked that particular image, even though other images have come forward, including artwork, presumably of Han Solo's new outfits, 2 of them, Princess Leia's new outfit. Anyway, and then some artwork where this new Jedi, and I can't remember the new character's name, but he holds Darth Vader's mask. And I think that was proven to be true because there was artwork that definitely showed that very clearly. So who knows? And then there's that purported image, which I had discussed in a previous episode of Star Wars on this show about Star Wars, that is of Darth Vader with all these stormtroopers and a village is burning. Who knows if that's true or not. Anyway, that seems to be the latest with Star Wars The Force Awakens, so you might see it this summer. But then again, maybe not, but then again, maybe yes. But the question is when. And I think we all know, too, we're not going to be privy to one of the things that is just a part of its tradition, never mind when it's released, but the fact that, I'm so used to seeing that 20th Century Fox come up, and it seems to me we're not going to see that this time because, well, they're not releasing the film Fox, unless anyone's heard differently. So, this is Jerry Saravia at the Movies, signing off.